Okay, so I'm here with Fabiana. She's a filmmaker behind a brilliant short film called Therese. Welcome to Brussels, welcome to our film festival, and congratulations. I've seen it, I think it looks wonderful, the actress is amazing, but if you could just tell us what the film, we always do, just tell us what the film's about, please.
Well, the film is about a botanist, Therese, who lived in
This is based on a true story, I think, isn't it?
It's based on a true story. She's a princess. She was a princess, daughter of Prince Regent Luitpold of Bavaria, who took over after Ludwig died. And she basically decided against marriage and decided to become a scientist for herself. I mean, she just studied at home and read a lot. And at that time, women were not allowed to study.
No chance, that's right, yeah.
And she just, had.
And where did you film it?
We filmed it in Brazil.
Oh, right, of course, yeah. So we should explain that you're Brazilian German. You live most of the time in the UK now, I think, don't you?
Yes. My mother is German. My father is Brazilian. I grew up in Brazil, but went to a German school and spending most of the summers with my family.
My head's spinning
Germany.
now. So you're German, Brazil. Okay, I kind of get it.
German and Brazil. So I grew up in Brazil. My parents met in Germany, moved to Brazil. I was born, so I grew up in Brazil, but within the German community. And I went to uni in London.
Right.
For my bachelor's.
Yeah.
Lived there for 5 years, came back to Brazil, worked in Brazil with advertising for 5 years, and then moved to Switzerland to do my master's. And that's where I made this film as my graduation film.
Now, this area in Brazil, did you know this area in Brazil? Were you aware of it? Did you have to hunt for it?
Kind of. We were a bit restricted by the budget to just film anywhere with the whole crew. So we filmed at close to my dad's beach house.
That's convenient.
So so we had
back to my dad's for lunch and a few beers, yeah?
Yeah, no, that's
pretty much how it went.
Pretty much how it went.
Okay, well that's cool.
Yeah.
But the film does look really good. I mean, it looks really professionally made. So tell me about the. Actually, we'll just roll back from that a bit, because you've given this. Although you knew the story, there's still some dramatic spin, because you want to make the film interesting, of course. So of course you've not embellished it, that's the wrong word, but you needed to make it to be interesting, didn't you? Of course. Yeah. So how did you decide to do that, to be reflected the way it's been done? Why did you decide to add the elements to it that you're not sure actually happened, but to make it give that edge to it?
Well, it started off with I wanted to show the cultural differences between Brazil and Germany, particularly Bavaria at that time.
Yeah.
But also wanted to show her struggle as a woman, especially in places with people who did not really know who she was.
Yeah.
I actually tried to bring a lot into the film. That's why I struggled with the time, because it could have been, 2-hour-long film, and I hope one day it will be.
Easily could have been. I mean, you could easily, you could make a. Surprise! So I didn't know this woman, and I mean, is it a well-known story? Is it something you researched or found out?
It's not a well-known story, but I researched a lot. I read her biography 4 years back, and I really identify myself with her a lot, especially her first impressions of Brazil as well. Some things that I can still relate to today.
Did she end up living there permanently?
No, she didn't live there. She went for 4 months.
And then
it was like an expedition.
Right, okay.
But that was her first big international expedition where she traveled undercover, because she was not supposed to be recognized as royalty, because or else she would have to have a lot more people accompanying her.
Yeah,
so she was also enjoying the anonymity too.
Anonymity, yeah.
So that's one thing, like how she deals with common people and the whole man and woman dilemma, and how the servant actually doesn't really take her seriously because she's a woman.
Yeah.
And being a princess, she never really got that, because she was always authority.
Yeah, welcomed. People would have done everything for her, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And that's because actually the look of it. Let's talk about, for instance, the costuming. Obviously, has to be everything has to be period. Even her hair, I noticed, was period. I'm sure she doesn't have her hair tied back like that, and it looks completely different. But so that's all got to be paid for, of course, and you've got to buy the costumes and get everything.
Yeah.
How did that all happen? Because that must have been quite an experience in itself.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we worked very closely together. It was a university film, my master graduation film, and I worked closely together with the cinematographer, Nino, who was
brilliantly filmed, as you know.
He's amazing.
Amazing.
He's
I mean, really,
amazing eye. And
really like proper professional.
Such a great guy as well, like super, partner in crime. And Jimena, who did costume and art direction. And the three of us started on this film, like, I want to say at least 6 months before filming. And they're both Swiss, and they're the Swiss part of the film. And Jimena just started researching, straight ahead, and she went to Berlin and went to flea markets and got all the,
the
different
material
objects and the material
okay.
and the clothes and everything. We went, we did some fittings with the actors as well, and we brought everything from Europe with us to Brazil. And it was only a couple of costumes, so each of us could bring 2 suitcases, and yeah.
And one of the suitcases was
one
close to one person, yeah.
of the suitcases was for the film, and half of the suitcase was for us. So. And
I mean, it looks idyllic down there. I'm guessing it was. I don't know if it's an easy shoot. There's no such thing as an easy shoot, but did it all go kind of according to plan?
It did. It did according to plan, but we did prepare a lot. So we spent a whole week, just the three of us, Jimena, Nino, and me, at the beach house, going out every single day into the wild and just exploring and seeing where it looks the wildest and most beautiful, and with easy access to come in with the cameras and the crew and everything.
Yeah, because some of it's beachside, isn't it?
Some of it,
which I suppose is the easier part of it.
It's the easier part. There are more people, but also it's the easier part, as in.
When you say more people, do you mean more people, general public?
Yeah.
So you. Now
that's why we only shot
on one side,
yeah.
Of course, yeah, because they're all behind you, like smoking away, drinking and partying, or whatever they're doing, surfing. And I did wonder, and you can only shoot in one bit.
No, but we did a 360 shot,
right.
Which was the expensive shot that we ended up.
The expensive shot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a friend who did it, who actually fixed it in post, but it was a decision we made as well.
Oh, right, so you cut it so that it was seamless, I mean?
No, I mean, we did a 360 shot, but then my friend who does post-production, who actually applied the little chip in the end.
So that was digital.
That was all digital, so he cleaned up all the houses in the back as well on the beach, and there are a few.
Oh, and then when you say that's the expensive part, because he's got to do that.
Yeah.
And then I know.
That was the money shot.
Yeah, very good, okay. Yeah, okay, moving on, anyway.
Yeah.
So, was there any, I know that you said it was, that went the way it did, but there was no dramas as such to talk of?
Location-wise, not really. I mean, not that I remember. We filmed exactly a year ago, so now it all seems like seamless, but a year ago I was pretty stressed out, so there's a few little things, but I don't remember much. I think we were very scared that it would rain. There was one day that it rained and we're shooting an outdoor scene, the one by the beach, and we were a bit tense, but then in the end it looked pretty nice that it was very cloudy.
Yes, some lovely shots with the sun, and I know there's some bits I can remember that it doesn't rain, but you've got a lovely light to it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the light in the last scenes was more of a gift, considering that the previous scenes were all kind of misty, like the evening shots, and because that was when the rain came. But in the end, it ended up looking more beautiful because it makes the end scene pop out more with the blue skies. Yeah. So it was like a lucky thing. Like
because they're again shooting at night. I mean, some night shots as well. But I suppose these modern cameras are so good, they capture. It doesn't matter anymore, does it?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about low light because they're built to do it, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I think there's a bit where he's by a campfire, or maybe I can't remember. There's a campfire shot.
There's a campfire, yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's digital cameras now are just so good. You can capture.
We had a lot of lighting as well.
How did you do that? Because you hit it well.
Yeah, because we shot with a production company that I worked with while I lived in Brazil.
Sounds like to me you're like calling in lots of favours. Is that how it worked? Right, okay.
It was a lot of favours, and yeah, the production company was amazing, and like I worked there for 3 years before.
Right.
And so yeah, the film industry in Brazil is it's pretty cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I do wonder with the film industry in South America. I do, you know, I don't know, it's like in Argentina or Brazil or any of those, or Chile or whatever. But I'm guessing, although I have spoken to Brazilian filmmakers before, and I'm guessing it's still growing at a rate of knots and to catch up the US and China and Europe. But is it dynamic now?
It is. I don't know if it's growing. It's always been kind of very strong, but the struggle is the money, because there's not they're not incentives, and especially now politically we're at a moment almost at the lowest moment, because
that's no one cares about that at the moment.
Now like it's only cuts and cuts and cuts, and it's been a very difficult time for Brazilian film, which is very sad, and hopefully it will get better soon, and hopefully we'll change our government soon, because it's not really working for any cultural.
Look, you're not as bad as Italy. Apparently they've had 50 elections in 70 years. Did you know that?
No.
It's incredible. They have an election once every 18 months on average. I mean,
oh wow,
it's ludicrous. You know, they're talking about another one. Oh, it's just absolutely mad. But on a serious note, this could easily be a feature.
Yeah, hopefully.
But it'll be massively, I mean, obviously you're going to expand it massively and it'll be all sorts of stories. Is that something you're looking at the moment?
That's something I'm definitely looking at. The intention of making this film is for it to be almost a teaser for a pitch film to.
Oh right, yeah, okay. So it's like a proof of concept kind of thing.
Yeah.
I often wonder when you think you do these stories, make these films about people that I hadn't heard of, obviously, what would their reaction be if they knew their lives were told? Because it would be astonishing to them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because at that time, I mean, she didn't know she was that revolutionary. I mean, she left a lot of documents. She died when she was 70-something. Like,
oh, she did live
she lived a long time.
And did she go on to marry?
No, never.
She never did?
She never did. She never did.
That's interesting.
She never did. She published a lot of books, and she was planning a world tour, like around a world tour, but she cancelled this because of the First World War.
That's inconvenient, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the end of the monarchy and everything kind of came together, which she was glad, because she was kind of against it in a way.
So she was a bit anti-royalist, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So born into royalty, but didn't really buy the gig.
I mean, she liked the luxuries of it,
of course,
but also she was very critical of it, and so
we would call that a champagne socialist.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
guess.
So likes the trappings, but
yeah, maybe. But then again, she also lived the end of it and really enjoyed living outside of the court and living, you know, in the countryside. And
being anonymous, as you said, I think.
Yeah, and being anonymous. And she volunteered in the First World War, reading to Russian prisoners, that imprisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she spoke Russian as well. She spoke, I think, almost 11 languages.
Wow.
I think. And
it's like a what do they call that? Polymath, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a polymath that can speak several languages. But that's
Portuguese
astounding.
Polyglotta.
Polyglot,
so,
yeah.
So
polymath is a master of all sciences, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, she's probably a genius.
Yeah.
So my ideal world would to turn that into a feature, or at least a 3-part series, or something.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and like I want to take her story and just spread it around.
Brilliant.
In the ideal world, I would do a version of The Crown.
Oh, okay, very good. You obviously watch it. So, but with the star being Nicole Kidman or whoever you're going to have in the film.
Yeah, it's like The Crown meets Tomb Raider.
Oh my God! So she's not going to be like Lara Croft, I don't know, sort of. No, not jumping down vines. I can't see that happening anymore.
Not really, but also not really The Crown, where not a lot happens. I mean, it's still one of my favorite series.
Yeah, I've seen them front to back, and obviously we're waiting for the third series.
Yeah,
to come
I'm watching
along.
it again, so preparing for the third
we're
one.
We're going off piece, which we often do. But what I love about it is, I mean, it looks gorgeous. Obviously, you see lots of money spent it, but even though it's based in my country, there's lots of history in there that I didn't know about. So even to me, it's quite eye-opening. So, but I really enjoy it.
No, it's beautiful. I mean, that's my ideal world, but also, you know, all my favorite films are based on true stories, biographies, and I mean, there's so much to still discover. So.
Brilliant. Really well done, Miss Fabiana.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thanks you so much.
Time.
Thanks for having me.
No, that was wonderful. Thank you.